Et puis nous retournons, chers amis, toujours pour faire la petite causerie entre les Hurston, c'est Christian et puis Joe, ils sont tous les deux là, ce sont un père et un fils, ils sont tous les deux là, donc on a parlé avec nous-mêmes dans la télécréole, et puis, on a parlé de voyage que tu fait à partir de ouragan, Jeanne qui était dévasté la côte et le côté des Gonaïves en Haïti, donc nous allons entendre exactement qui ça est. Bon, nous allons gagner une image que nous allons passer tout à l'heure. But you went to Haiti, Christian, and what did you see in your first trip?
The first trip we made was the first penetration into Go Naive. And when we went in, it was just really incredible. It was 6 days after Tropical Storm Jean had come in and just dropped so much water, you know, 5 and 6 feet of water in the city where whole trucks were washed out to the ocean. You know, thousands of people were killed. So when we came in, the smell was just so strong in the city that everybody, the Haitians included, were covering their face with anything they could find, shirts, masks, bandanas, anything. When we came in, you could see the Haitians were really trying to get back on their feet. You know, many of them were trying to smile. They were trying to make the best of the situation. But it was just so, you know, so monumental to see the impact that that storm had had on one. There was water lines this high on people's houses. You could see where there's still water was standing in the streets. They had made bridges across the roadways just to be able to cross and to be able to not step in the water. Every single house in Go Naive had been affected by the storm.
Every single
house. A quarter of a million people, and every single house had been affected.
Oh wow, we heard about it and we have some images. So we're gonna go to some footage if you don't mind, because you filmed them, right?
Yes.
This is c'est job ça de faire lui-même parce que ils font bel travail pendant que papa l'avait avec l'autre monde. Il était même avec Channel 9, avec Channel 9, Channel 2, right? Et puis qui dit au tourner footage tout et puis nous allons montrer donc là exactement qui gens ça et nous commencer déjà dans l'écran. On regarde exactement là qui gens ça pied, qui gens ça pendant que monsieur t'a filmé. Et c'est le moment où on regarde on a dit régie prend compte.
This was a major concern for this group from Brevard County.
You don't know how deep the water is and how wide the path is.
Because all it takes is one good wave to kill an engine.
On the other side is Go Naive, a city where 2,000 people were either washed out to sea or buried in mud when then Tropical Storm Jean whipped through 2 weeks ago. And now there is a dire need for drinking water.
She has running water at her house, but it's filled with mud, so she cannot use it.
This filter, manufactured by Joe Hurston from Titusville and invented by Rolf Engelhardt, uses ultraviolet light to purify contaminated water. They brought 5 of them to Haiti.
What we're hoping to do is to at least make some lives a little easier by bringing some water to them.
Let's watch this little truck.
After much debate, they crossed that washed-out road and arrived in Go Naive.
Over the years, I've worked a lot of major disasters and 10 major hurricanes. I've never seen anything like this.
You don't have to look very far to see an example of how desperately people need clean drinking water. This is the scene on a street in Go Naive where people have lined up here, filling buckets, doing anything they can for a drink of water.
No medicine, no water for those that survive.
It could create a riot if they set up their filter in the streets. So after a search, they find a clinic.
They are preparing to do surgery now, and one of their major concerns is surgical water.
In a matter of minutes, they're creating 30 gallons an hour of sterile water, just in time for a woman to deliver a baby.
Wow, that's great. It sure made my day, I tell you.
They had to cross back over that flooded-out road, but they were convinced more than ever that the long, dangerous trip was worth it.
Visually, it was like the sense of being overwhelmed kept rolling over me, and I found myself groaning. I could only imagine what it was like as that water began to rise, and then as the water began to flow with such force that it was washing trucks into the ocean. Visually, I was overwhelmed.
It was an overload. We all had this mask on, but they didn't do much to stop the smell, you know. It was, again, the visual thing for me. It was and the moment I engaged my imagination a little bit, and I got thinking, where are these people going to sleep tonight? And I don't mean to belittle the suffering that people have gone through in Florida, But in the United States, we're pretty certain that if a disaster befalls us, somehow we're going to have food to eat, we're going to have water to drink, we're going to have a place to sleep. Wherever, they may airlift us out of there by the Coast Guard. And I got thinking, in this place there is nobody there to help these people.
We in Central Florida have been devastated, and even as we speak now, a storm bearing right down on. But where we've just been, the infrastructure is so weak and just really almost non-existent that I hope and pray that the people that see this will certainly take care of their own home and their family. We understand that. But to continually reach out to others. And we saw things that they are almost incomprehensible for us in our country in the midst of all of our own disasters, mainly because that was days ago, and this disaster is just going on. And there's a potential for thousands upon thousands of
Et puis, chers amis, nous, qui sont à la télé, ils sont durs, mais dans le style du toujours, mais c'est des tout bagages, parce que le pays a besoin, du côté on a surtout, pas d'électricité, pas de manger, pas de l'eau. C'est la meilleure des boissons, l'eau. Ou capable de vivre sans manger, pour quelques jours, on va vivre sans l'eau. De l'eau, nous mettons l'avant, on a besoin de l'eau. Et ça fait que dernièrement, on connaît que Orlando, nous avons un avion rempli avec un pile d'eau là-dedans, un pile manger tout le ça, mais c'est de l'eau qu'on a demandé, de l'eau qu'on a demandé. Et c'est vraiment très important. Rade tout le ça, car écrasé, car perdu, moun mouri, bête mouri, tout le ça. Pour qui ça moun qui pas mourir, moun qui rete qu'on arrive toujours, qui ça a besoin. Donc, il a besoin de manger, il a besoin de rade, il a besoin de travail, il a besoin de tout, il a besoin de route. Parce que vous connaissez à peine qu'on y a comme saison pluvieuse en font camper, pas presque qu'on y a là comme c'est une époque qu'on y a et cyclone pour le fermer et zone époque cyclone pour le fermer. Et soit nous pas prendre l'appui encore top et c'est bon et qu'on est capable de dire qu'on a de l'eau à sécher qu'on y a là et qu'on y a là aussi ça va faire avec couture toute bagarre ça. Mais maintenant de toute bagarre nous besoin de l'eau et de l'eau à toute bagarre. Moun ça qui avec la jodi là, Dieu ensemble avec Christian. Yo tous les deux, yo mettez papa petite. Vous avez pensé à ça que tu as sur place pour ouais exactement qui ça a besoin, qui ça pays a besoin, qui ça a besoin. C'est alors que vous devez une idée, vous avez de l'eau nécessaire. Chaque temps vous avez de l'eau, à peine de l'eau qui arrive. Les gens qui dans la route pour chimère dans la route, les machines, voler, bagarre, tout bagarre, ça ne doit pas même arriver à les gens qui ont besoin réellement. Et c'est une base de faute chimère, non? Et c'est faute paysan, parce que paysan n'a pas de l'eau, pas de moyen pour aller de l'eau. Il y a de l'eau, mais il y a pour faire de l'eau à purifier, pour travailler de l'eau pour les gens. Monsieur ça même qui est là, bon Dieu faut même en mission, oui, il faut me dire. Et ça fait que de deux bonnes fois, avec les moyens que vous gagnez, il est nécessaire pour montrer la cournière là, que on appareil qui est capable de purifier de l'eau, qui gagne un état de l'eau aillé. Et c'est normal. Donc, you tell the viewers, talk to them.
Yeah.
When you went after how many trips that when you went to Haiti, you've been to Haiti, when you get back, and what pushed you think about to make that, what I see here on the table, what they're going to see in a few minutes?
Yeah. The very first thing, T-May, that came into my heart when I saw the disaster and the first film began to come back, and I saw the water standing everywhere, I knew that the people were going to be suffering immediately from thirst. And I knew, and you know how, when you get thirsty enough, you'll drink anything. I knew they were going to reach down in that water and they were beginning to drink that water because all of the water sources had been destroyed. So that's the first thing that hit me. Well, a good friend of mine invented a machine that turns sewage, water from your toilet, into perfectly pure water.
No, wait.
No, I'm serious.
Wait. Joe, listen. You said water from toilet?
Absolutely.
They're working on it, and then they give you that to drink?
That is exactly right.
To clean water?
When he invented this machine, first of all, he is a Christian. And God, he's also a genius. He's an inventor. And as he was praying about it, he came up with this idea. And the system uses ozone and UV, which is just what God does. The sun shines in the water and the ozone purifies it. So he made this machine that turns sewer water. When he first...
Are you joking?
It's genius technology. And also, I believe it is inspiration from God. Bon Dieu te bam idée, mes amis. The Lord gave my friend the idea. And this works. Now let me say too, I've been to Gonaïve now 3 times in the last month and a half, and I have drank probably 50 cups of water. And pas de problème du tout. Me personnellement. So I know it works again and again and again. This just works. So our goal is to put many of these in Gonaïve.
So that means they can take any water, like they have from their river back there, back in Haiti.
Yes.
And have this machine hooked up nearby.
Yeah.
And they can like help the people that need water in the area.
That is exactly right. The first places that we're going are to the medical, to the hospitals, to the clinics, because the doctors and the clinical workers need clean water to wash the wounds and to give people good water to drink. That's the first place we go. Then we're going into the community, into the schools, into all of the different, parts of society.
So, I'm très saisi, chers amis, je me saisi en pile parce que je me de bagaille. Et je me regarde de l'eau tomber là comme ça, c'est de l'eau sale qui vient changer. Seul regret, je ne pas trouver de l'eau sale là avant. Il faut me monter dans le lit. Mais de toute façon, docteur, c'est une démonstration que je n'ai pas faite seulement. Mais après ça, nous allons continuer à parler avec les messieurs là. Nous allons passer dans notre troisième pause. Et puis nous allons retourner toujours avec Christian et Joe Hurston. À tout à l'heure, chers amis, la grave.